Well, I was genetically programmed, as you are, really. I had no chance. I had to ride bikes. Obviously, when I was a kid, we couldn't have money for cars, let alone driving lessons. So the first thing you did was get on a bike as soon as you were old enough. So I had an old Bantam. I had a few scooters, but they were only because they came in cheap, about not even second-hand, about 50-hand or something, so they were all falling to bits. But no, I always liked the bikes. Oh, it just, because you have to concentrate on it. It's an ideal way of just letting everything go, because it's not like where you have to sit and deliberately empty your mind. This does it for you. So any stresses you've got in life and stuff like that. And also it's almost like as close as we're ever going to get to flying. Although 2 years ago I did actually fly while I was riding, which was very funny. I rode the bike off, but I was okay. But so that does happen. But I couldn't wait to get back on the bike again, because it's something I have to do. No doubt. Cars I've always been able to take or leave. They're just a way of getting A to B dry. I ride all year round on the bike, except for the very slipperiest of days. Other than that, I love it. And then, of course, like I say, my grandparents, your great-grandparents, my grandfather was a big biker. In fact, got a picture of my grandmother sitting two up on the back, carrying my mum. She was pregnant with my mum, so that would have been 1926. I've never been able to identify what bike they had, but it was one of those sort of long, thin, square tanks, so it could have been a Norton or something like that. And I've got an uncle I've told you about. He was an artist, and he had a really old Douglas motorbike, which was his pride and joy, who he named his firstborn son after his motorbike. So his son's called Douglas after the bike. And then there was my dad, of course. In the war, he was in the signals, so he was a dispatch rider in Italy as part of his job there. And you've seen a photograph of that, him just sitting there posing on it. I think, again, it's another bike I've never been able to identify, but I think it was a BSA 350, whatever they were. But they thousands and thousands were made, Royal Enfields and stuff. So could have been one of them even, but one day I'll identify it. What needs to be said is how I feel about handing on this baton. It's not something I've done consciously. You've done it on your own. When you were a teenager living with us, and you used to go out with Gav and down green lanes on bikes way underage and playing and learning your skills there, like we all did in our time, and the fact that you did it as well. But it's what you went on to do, which I'm in total awe of, really, because I know I couldn't have done it. And I've been accused of doing some silly things in my life, which are sort of a bit off the wall and crazy, and you can talk about them if you want to, but, you going down into the desert and going around and up into mountains and all through Europe, and not only that, but on your own, and whether you lived a child's life or what, I know, because as I remember it, you didn't even get a puncture. But, to be a stranger in a strange land and not even have to worry about the machine and things, but just to go out and stop your bike on a mountain road and just film the scenery, that's something else. And I've always been in awe of you for that. I've been immensely proud that you could do that and just take it in your stride, and more than that. When you come back, you're not sort of boring everybody to death with it, Try not to. I think even if this is a footnote on the end, it's something that needs to be said. And if this is around long enough, you can say something about your boy Noah as he's. As he's, I don't know what bikes will look like by that time, but
flying bikes.
They'll all be electric, that's for sure.
They'll zoom around.
Yeah, so there you go.
Ta-da!